Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. This first email here is from Alex.
It starts, so ... I'm thrown off with something. You mean thrown off by something? Thrown off by something.
Okay.
After 3 months of LSAT Demon, I have not once seen the hurry up realistic video. You guys have excellent and thorough explanations in explaining why the correct answers are correct and why the wrong answers are wrong. But as thorough as these explanations are, I find myself going, wait, let me think this through. But as a result of that, I take up some time. A perfect example is in games. I take my time in planning it out, in drawing out the worlds. Regardless, I do answer everything correctly. I'm just slow at it. And yet, I have not seen the kind of video where either Nathan or Ben says, hurry up, you don't have all day, or stop taking your sweet time, or what's wrong with you? There's a timer. I have not seen these kind of suggestions in any of the explanations. I think they would serve as a reality check. And that is from a well-meaning, misguided Alex. You want to tell Alex why we don't do that?
Yeah, we don't do that because we believe that if you try to hurry up, you're not going to develop the skills that actually make you faster.
Bingo. We're not looking to make you slightly faster at doing it wrong. We're looking to make you dramatically faster by learning how to do it right.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with trying to go fast. The only type of speed that we want to build at LSAT Demon is effortless, reliable, accurate speed. And the only way you're going to get there is by understanding. Yeah. So you have to slow down. You have to read everything. You have to really understand what they're saying. You have to try to predict on games. You know, you're going to build your worlds. On reading comp, you're going to take the time to really digest what the author said. What was the point? Like, why does that document exist? What do they want? On LR, you're going to attack that argument. You're going to tell them why the argument is bullshit, most likely. And you're going to think about it all calmly, carefully, with no regard for time. Then when you go into the answer choices, you're going to be able to blaze through the wrong answers because you're going to know that that's just wrong. That's not what you're looking for. That's not what they said. Where are you going with? Nope, that's not going to be the right answer. You read 4 words of that answer. Nope, I know that's wrong. Next. And that's the only place, Alex, that you're ever going to go fast is you're just going to confidently dismiss wrong answers. But the secret of this test is that like half of the words are locked up inside of wrong answer choices. If you go too fast, you're going to end up spending a lot of time comparing those wrong answer choices to one another. But, 4 out of 5 of those answers are wrong. So you're actually like putting wrong things in your brain if you're spending too much time in the answer choices. And instead, you should be spending that time up front in the passage, the argument, the setup of the game, the question itself, making a prediction about what you think the answer should be, and you're not rushing at all. There ain't no hurry up. In fact, it's good. Take your time, slow down, take all the time you need. Make sure you know what you're looking for. Make sure you actually understand the question that's being asked. Then you can blaze through the wrong answers because you know that they're wrong without even reading the entire thing. But even there, you're not trying to go fast. You're trying to identify the right answer. And you read a few words of A and you go, nah, what's next? Few words of B, no. Few words of C, oh, well, that's definitely wrong. That's the exact opposite of what they said, or that's the exact opposite of what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. You read D and you go, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe it matches your prediction. Maybe it doesn't match your prediction, but it does a similar thing as what your prediction did. And you go, and you understand every word of it. You read carefully every word of that answer because you're considering picking it. And you go, yeah, I think that's the answer. Then you read E and you go, no, that's wrong for reasons. And you confidently pick D and move on. I think I spend like 80% of the time up front and then 20% of the time in the answer choices. Most novices, people who are trying to go fast, they spend 20% of their time up front because they're trying to go fast. Then they get into the answer choices and they have no idea what they're looking for. The bad answers look good, or none of the answers look good because they have no idea what the question even asked. And then they spend all day just comparing all the wrong answers, with the one right answer hidden in there somewhere. And overall, they end up going slower.
Yeah, one thing I want to add about this experience is Alex specifically talked about games, right? So Alex is going slower, thinking through the game, drawing out the worlds, answers everything correctly, and then says, I'm just slow at it. Okay, well, you're on the path, but specifically when it comes to games, I think when you set up games with worlds based on F or whatever, any variable or any rule in that game, you're understanding that game in a particular way. But if you try to set that game up on the basis of some other rule or some other variable, you're going to see that game in a different light. So it's not like, oh, I set up the game, I set up my worlds, I answered all the questions correctly, it took me a long time, but I understand that game. No, there are other ways to understand that game. And what we're trying to get you to do is to try it in a different way so that your understanding can get even better. And as your understanding improves, then you start to gravitate towards world setups that might be better or faster than other world setups. It's not like there's always a right answer. Sometimes there is. Sometimes it's like, wow, that's the way to set up worlds for that game. But to get to that point, you just have to try different arrangements and start to get a feel for why some things seem to work and some things don't necessarily work as well.
Yeah. Slow down to speed up. In the military, they teach people slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Don't know how many other different ways we can say it, but yeah, Alex, if you keep looking for the hurry up lesson, you're never, ever going to find it in the LSAT Demon, because we're trying to improve your score by 17 points or 27 points. If you want to figure out gimmicky techniques to like go a little bit faster and get yourself a 7-point improvement, that's not what we do. There's other LSAT prep. By the way, you'll improve 7 points faster with us than you will anywhere else as well. But our core philosophy is that you can understand this stuff, and you're not going to understand it by trying to go fast. If you have two goals, understand and go fast, the go fast goal is going to prevent the understanding goal. If you have one goal, which is to understand, then understanding will come with time, and it will also automatically make you go faster because you'll just be seeing through the test. You'll start predicting the answers. You'll start predicting the question before they even ask it. You'll be halfway through the argument and you'll go, okay, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's like Neo, right? Is it Neo in the Matrix?
The Matrix?
Yeah. Like, he's not running around. Once he figured out the Matrix, he could just stand there and say, hey, come here. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then, then you just run the whole game.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of like frantically trying to play the game, you are the boss of the whole game. And you're just the judge of the supreme overlord of the whole game, because you've learned that, hey, this stuff makes sense. I just have to make sense of it. And there's no point rushing through to the answers. The answers aren't going to help you make sense of it. You're going to make sense of it before you look at the answers. Then you're going to just blaze through the answer choices. You're going to get it right. You're going to feel good about your answers. And it's going to end up being overall faster than the people who rush into those answers and bang their head against the wall, miss the question half the time anyway, because they're trying to go fast. But otherwise, they're never, it's going to be real hard to find the right answer because they didn't. You got to kind of like insulate yourself from the bullshit wrong answers, right? You got to make sure that you're prepared before you go into the swamp of the answer choices.
I'm going to throw one more thing in here. We've talked about slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's from the military, right? We talked about Neo, although it's fictional. I want to add one more thing. I just read this the other day, and I don't know if it's true, but I read that Jeff Bezos once said or has said that he would feel good if he made 3 good decisions a day. And the point that I think the person was trying to make, as they were quoting Jeff for supposedly saying this, is that, right, like you can go through a day, especially someone like that who runs a huge global company, and be deluged, is that right? Overwhelmed with decisions that you need to make, right? Constantly. But he's like, wait a sec, let's slow it down. I'd like to make 3 good ones a day instead of 100 shitty ones. Same idea.
Yeah.
Do it right, and things will go a lot better for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the analogy is you take your time to decide what's going on with that game. You decide what's going on with that argument. You decide what's going on with that passage. And if you really make an informed decision there, and you know what's going on, you read the question, you decide what you think a good answer would be before you look at those answer choices, then there's no decision to be made once you get into the answer choice. It's just like, no way, no way. Yep, that's the one. No way, no way. Next. Because you've already made the important decision up front. The other way of doing it is to not decide about the passage, not decide about the game or the argument, not really figure out what's going on there. Then you go in and you've got all kinds of decisions to make about the answer choices. Is this good? Is this a contender? Should I leave this one open?
Yeah.
Let me leave that one open. Let me make sure I read every single word. I don't know what they're talking about, but let me really get in there and read every single word of this wrong answer and this wrong answer and this wrong answer. And you're making so many more frantic decisions in trying to assess the answer choices. You could have made one more important decision up front, insulated yourself from those answer choices, and decided up front what was going on. That's where effortless speed comes from. That's where really high accuracy comes from. That's how we turn 149s into 172s.
Yeah.
Is by, I don't know. Ultimately, the core lesson is this shit makes sense. You can make sense of it. We can show you how to make sense of it. But we're not going to show you also how to hurry up. we're going to take our time to solve these questions, and then we're not ever going to have a problem with speed because we get so good at the test. Thanks, Alex. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.